If you had a magic wand that would make you in the best physical condition on your terms, and you could choose to be fit next week, next month, next year, or for the rest of your life, what would you choose? Hey, I'm Robbie Stahl, the founder of The Fitness Doctor, the world's leader in anti-aging fitness. And before you make that decision, as your advisor in this video, here's some really important things you need to know before you make that decision. And that is 87% of people who exercise get injured exercising and or create chronic pain because of the way they approach their fitness. So, do you want to be fit next week, next month, next year, or for the rest of your life? Of course, the answer is all of them, but especially for the rest of your life. But the way that most people approach fitness, and I do mean expert trainers and even some therapists, pretty much almost everyone who exercises, is approaching exercise from a philosophy that sets them up for failure. Here's why. Most people approach fitness by thinking about performance factors first, such as sets, reps, rest period, how much, how often, all of those details that have to do with performance or adding more stimulus to the body. But here's the thing that you really need to know. If you want to be fit for the rest of your life and not end up being a statistic and creating a lot of dysfunction and pain, or maybe you have dysfunction, pain, and other body issues now, and you want to get out of them and fix your body while you get more fit, here's the crucial things you need to know. Is that when you train your body, it's not just physical. It's actually mind, energy, and emotion too. 1.5 billion people are suffering from chronic pain right now. And when it comes to your fitness, fitness is a physical fatigue stimuli placed on your body in the exercise that you do that causes breakdown to your body. If you do that in such a way that pain is inflicted upon yourself repeatedly over chronic periods of time, what happens is there's pain sensors in your brain. So for example, if you have back pain, shoulder pain, knee issue, ankle issue, or you're creating pain in exercise, even the pain that you think is good, what happens is this pain sensors in your brain that are short-term start to store the information into your motor processing systems, your motor learning processing systems, which include the limbic system, emotions, and the way that you feel and connect with your body and the way that your brain is perceiving what's going on in your body. So most people approach exercise and fitness in a way that's causing excessive strain, excessive stress. There's many ways to look at this and to help you get amazing improvement in your physical function. So whether you're in the best shape of your life right now, or you're in the worst shape of your life right now, or anywhere in between, here's the things you really need to know to move forward to get the best fitness results this year. And that is, when you approach your fitness, it's best to approach in this way. And it's what I call a 3-filter system. Now, this wasn't developed over the weekend while I'm sitting at my desk writing this stuff out. No. These things were developed first with a 5-year research study with some of the best psychologists, motor learning, neurologists, exercise mechanics, experts, physical therapists, university professors, researchers. We did a 5-year research study looking at over 1 million case subjects. What was the goal? The goal was basically to figure out what is the very best type of fitness to make someone reverse their age due to the fitness process. Because what we were finding is all these people are getting injured and having all these issues with exercise, and the world is full of mental, emotional, and even physical pain. And we wanted to solve all of it with a really amazing system. So that's basically what our objectives was. We developed a system, a methodology, and we tested it in our facility with hundreds of people for over a decade. Fast forward to you receiving this information right now, here it is. You should approach your fitness with 3 filters, and I'll tell you exactly why along the way these filters are so important. Filter one, don't start with performance. Why? If you start with performance, the typical performance that pretty much everyone in fitness is doing, and there's an unending amount of YouTube videos that tell you how to tax your muscle more and push your body further, well, there's a time and place for that. But here's the thing, is that if you approach with performance thought process first, you want your performance to be highly functional. So when you go to increase performance, which honestly is not that difficult to do, it's not that difficult to gain more strength, more muscle, lose body fat. It's really not if you know the best processes to achieve that. You don't have to be a genius to get those results. You just have to go out and take action and do some of the most basic things. But the problem is, especially over the age of 50, you're gonna create a lot of negative results because of misalignments, lack of mobility in certain tissues of the body, lack of strength in certain areas. And when you exercise, you're overstressing certain areas. And then as you increase performance, you're basically ingraining dysfunction into your body mechanics, which then affects your mind and your emotions. And most people don't feel amazing about themselves. So when you go to exercise and you have the wrong thoughts, emotions, connection with self, and the wrong mechanics, you're literally conditioning dysfunction into your body by going performance first. So here's a much better way. Get all the performance results and get way more other results that aren't happening right now. Filter one, sensory perception optimization. What this is optimizing the way you feel and connect with body, from mind, energy, and physicality. And when I say energy, everything in the world is made up of energy. Okay, and energy is what controls our world. So if you're connecting with your body and your mind in the right way when you exercise, this includes positive emotions. When you breathe in, you're breathing in positive emotion and connection with self, things you want to feel about yourself and body. When you exhale, you're exhaling the things you don't want to feel about mind and body if there's stuff going on there, which if you're like most humans, there's stuff going on there. The other thing, huge on the physicality side, is you should be, for example, if you're doing a squat, you're not gonna just be like, okay, 19, 20, because when you get into the fatigue of like getting to a rep and that's the first focus, what happens is little misalignments start to happen in the body, and that stress and strain can cause negatives. Yes, cause positives. We get better by having stress and overcoming it. That's huge. But how can we make it 100% positive and no negative? Well, the way you can do that is any exercise you do, you should be feeling your way through it, sensory percepting. So if you're going to do a squat, you're going to feel, are your feet aligned? So here's, for example, going to give you all the quick tips on the best squat. You have 3 points of tripod in your feet. So you feel behind the big toe, behind the little toe, and the center of the heel. That's the tripod, 3 points. Having an equal pressure among those 3 points sets your knee and even your pelvis in the proper alignment and also protects the knee. Then as you start to squat down, you're keeping your pelvis neutral. You're learning how to do proper breathing mechanics, right? So you're breathing in as you go down, you let your diaphragm come out, and then before you even get to the bottom, you're starting to exhale, draw back in, exhaling, keeping proper spinal alignment. There's many, many details, and that's not what this video is about, to teach you every detail about your body mechanics. It's to help you retrain your approach to fitness in a way that you can immediately apply and get much more results in mind, body, energy, and physicality. Sensory perception, filter one. Feel, sense, condition, positive emotions. Feel your mechanics. Let me give you more examples. If you're doing a bicep curl, simple example. You're curling, you're feeling the muscle shortening, you're feeling the muscle lengthening, you're feeling posture, you're feeling connection and confidence about yourself. You're ingraining all these emotions and connections while feeling the detail of what the body's doing. If you do this, here's the benefit. Proven through research, 20 to 60% more fitness results across the board by having deep internal attention on the detail of what you're doing and applying positive emotion with that. Why? Because what's happening is you're getting greater neurological drive from mind to body. And that greater neurological drive and detail is coordinating, turning on more stabilizers, more prime movers that move the weight. It's creating an overall higher electrical signal into your body, which recruits more muscle fibers. So when you exercise, back to the simple example, if you do a squat, not all of your muscle fibers are going to work to do a body weight squat, for example. So what most people do, and most trainers educate clients on, for example, is lift more weight because you'll turn on more muscle fibers because you have more demand. So that's the reason for more weight, because more stimulus, more weight turns on more muscle fibers. Well, if you start with filter one with the internal attention approach that I just shared with you, you're going to get 20 to 60% more results right out of the gate without changing rest, reps, sets, frequency, anything else, just the internal attention, 20 to 60% more results because of the additional neurological drive, and it's so much more functional because now your body is learning from mind to body to connect on all these positive energy and emotions, and these feel, sensory retraining of the body. This sets your neurological system up for success. And when you improve your fitness, the first system of the body to improve functionality is the neurological system. When you gain strength, first 6 weeks, the strength is coming from increased neurological drive and connection. It's not because your muscles are growing necessarily, it's because of the neurological connection. That's filter one. Filter two is alignment. Now this gets quite detailed. Every part of the body has its own needs for alignment and muscle activation functionality. But the most important thing for you to know right now is those things exist. So you don't want to aimlessly move your body and have like misalignments. You want to be very clear on what is the mechanics that your body needs on each movement, position, and functionality so that you're training ideal functionality into your mechanics so that when you start to add more reps, weight, stimulus, you're conditioning that increased performance into functionality, into the proper sensory perception. So filter two is all about having excellent body alignment. But you're not going to show up in filter two and get upset with yourself or have negative emotions that you don't quite have the perfect alignment and get frustrated with yourself, which this is actually really common for many people. Because if you do that, you just broke filter one, which is why I call them filters and not factors or steps or anything else. Because you filter all those impurities in your mind, body, energy, physicality out to get the filter two. Filter two, focus on alignment. So we worked through dinner, and now we're going to get to dessert. And first of all, before we actually call filter three, which is performance, before we call that dessert, the interesting thing, another fact statistic for you, is only like 4 or 5% of people actually want to do high intensity exercise and feel the fatigue and feel the burn and all those things, right? Whereas the other 95% want to feel comfortable in their exercise. They're okay with staying consistent, doing some pushing of themselves, but they want to stay comfortable. And you should, because if you're not comfortable first, you're going to go forward into performance with pain, and it only gets worse. So before we get into performance, here's a picture of me bodybuilding. I know, that was back when I had hair and 20 or so years ago, but I've been there, done that, and even have the t-shirt. So this isn't coming from a guy that's like, oh, just like little yogi and let's do some chair yoga and let's do only geriatric exercises. No, not at all. I have an incredible track record of training thousands of the most elite athletes in the world, including myself, in developing the best muscular physiques in the world before I got into all the therapeutic fitness side and mind, energy, emotions that I'm sharing with you here. So this is a system to achieve all of it by these three filters. So when you get to filter three and you stay fit for life, well, most people will never be fit for the rest of their life because they want to approach fitness as a knucklehead and they want to just bang their head against the wall and push and like they don't want to go through all this, which is honestly feels so much better and so much more rewarding and makes you fit and functional to age 100 and maybe beyond. So that's really the goal. So as we get into performance, you want to have filter 1, as you learned, it's a filter. Filter 2, alignment, and then filter 3. Now you feel great, you feel and sense every detail, mechanic of the body, you know how to align and function. Now, when you start increasing load and weight in any exercise, it's going to be therapeutic. It literally makes it so that every exercise you do, as long as you have the right makeup of different exercise selections, it's going to make it so that every exercise you do is therapeutic. How awesome is that? So you're literally fixing your body, making yourself younger, as opposed to aging your body. Most people age their body more with exercise. Why? I'm going to get to filter 3, but why? Because you're already going to be exposed to increased inflammation as you age. You're already going to be exposed to degeneration of your body. Exercise done in the wrong way both increases inflammation and increases degeneration. So if you're doing exercise in the wrong way as you get into your 50s, 60s, 70s, and beyond, you're going to cause more detriment oftentimes than good. Performance. So the most important thing for you to know about performance is you need to take filter 1 and 2 into your performance and never break those as a filter. So if you go to increase weight on the bench press or on your push-ups, you're feeling the alignment of the pelvis, the core, the scapula, the neck, all those things that you filtered. You're feeling great about yourself. You know what feels right. You're feeling the elongation of the chest and the shortening of the muscle fibers. You train in that way, which is a very elite way to train. So you're going to get elite results. And that is the magic sauce to age in the most graceful way you could possibly think of and get the very best fitness results this year. Lots of love, lots of value in the description. I'll see you in our next video together. Remember, while you're human, you are also unique. So it's important to always consider the specifics of your own body. I hope you enjoyed this video, and if you did, make sure to check out the next one right here. And you can click right here below to subscribe to our channel to get the very best content from our fitness doctor experts.